We used to go along from day to day, living our lives in whatever which way it came, and it seemed to us that everything was just fine, and that we were living quite well. And then one day, we all woke up with a strange sensation that somehow something was not right. We didn't know exactly what it was. Everything felt wrong, and that's all there was to it. Suddenly from somewhere, questions appeared in us. Why am I living? What am I living for? Where is all this going? You see, what happened is that somehow a tiny ray of light penetrated right into our world. Just a single tiny beam, and it began to reveal wonderful things within us. That it came from a world made of light, where there's only good, a place that's kind and secure, because everyone there is happy to live only according to one rule. The rule of mutual love. And we began to feel the great difference between the inner feeling of that beautiful world and how it felt to be living in this one. Compared to that distant light, we live in total darkness. Before the ray of light arrived, it seemed to us that everything was okay. But as soon as it appeared, boom, bang, everything turned upside down. Because it showed us that we don't live like the law of the light at all, but only according to the darkest darkness. And rather than being completely free, as we had imagined, we all began to see that each of us was trapped in their own little egoistic box. Not seeing anyone, not hearing anyone, not understanding or loving anyone. All of this was done by just one tiny ray of light. How could we continue to live another moment like this once we knew that we didn't have to feel this lonely sadness anymore? Then, each and every one of us decided that they were going to break through the darkness into this light, no matter how difficult it might be. Whatever it might take, they were going to follow that beam right into the world of love and good. And just as we always did, everyone began working on their own. But nobody could get anywhere. We couldn't break through even as much as an inch. It didn't take long before everyone lost hope and felt there was absolutely no way they could ever escape their lost little chambers. No, there was no way to break through. And we each thought, just as I was born an egoist, that's the way I'll always be. That's how I'll live, and that's how I'll die. There's no way out of here, ever. And then, without warning, one of us cried out, "I understand. I know why we're not getting anywhere." And he began to dig. No one knew why he was digging in such a different direction. We just couldn't understand. What is this stupid digging towards us? And why is he shouting? What is he shouting about? There must be something wrong with him. He dug, and he dug. He yelled, and he shouted something none could hear or understand. Until he got close enough that one of us realized he was calling out, "Brothers, brothers, you are with me, and I am with you, and only together can we all break through." Then he also understood the whole thing, and began digging towards his friend until at last they met, unified and shone in mutual love, just like the light. Then another heard them, and another, another, and another. And as we all began to connect, we understood that only united can we break through into the light. Only together, but never alone. And we broke through this darkest darkness, and that's how we started living in a bright new world of freedom and joy. If you think this is just a fairy tale, I'm happy to tell you you're quite mistaken. It's no fairy tale at all. and far from being imaginary. It's the truest story there is.